now we're live. I counted too fast.
Oh, there he
I
is.
see Doug. So we got Jessica and Doug, and let's see who else I can pull in. Let's see. How was your week, Doug?
It was a crazy week. All kinds of stuff are happening.
Like what?
New state standardized testing, field trips, school board budget meetings, all kinds of stuff. You guys know the routine.
Yeah, we're going through the same things.
Everything but teaching, it seems.
As people start popping in, I can grab them and invite them in. So we'll see who all pops in. I did start the recording, and I figured out how to edit the recording, so I can cut this part out.
So what's this cool new Google app I have running here?
I have no idea.
Wow, it's got like this whole big dockable toolbar and
Do you
Hangout.
do you see the Hangout like a camera and it says Q&A?
Yep.
Okay, you see what I see.
Hangout toolbox.
Yeah, you see what I see, so that's kind of cool.
Yep.
You can help pull in people if you see them hanging around.
Where would I see them?
They usually show up as viewers, and I can go pull them in.
Okay.
But so far, we have 0 viewers, so just the 3 of us. I'm hoping Natalie comes with her shirt design so that we can kind of see who else can I pull in. I feel like the Wizard of Oz. I just type people's name and pull them in.
Ooh.
Maybe. Oh, we have 1 viewer.
Jessica, looks like you're alone tonight.
Yeah, Wisconsin Badger game stole Heather.
That happens.
Yep.
We just finished watching.
Oh, are you guys seeing the trying to get in?
Yeah, I'll try and pull him in. Oh, another Jessica. Hi, Jessica.
Hey.
Oh, no video tonight. At least you joined, right? The Jessica with the snowboarding, she is a colleague of mine, and I've been trying to get her to come join us.
I'm doing this on my phone, so we'll see how this goes.
That's awesome. Are you home yet?
Yes, I just got home and put my dinner in the oven, so I'm going to multitask.
Okay. Well, we can hear you nice and loud, or I can.
That's good.
Let's see. Adam has joined us. We got Doug. And Adam, your video is not working again. We got Doug, Jessica, and Jessica. Let's see who else we can pull in. I think Jean was going to try to come. Hi, Jean. Let's see if I can't pull you in. Hang on. You should get an invite from me, Jean.
Uh-oh.
Our house is busy watching basketball. I sent them all away so I could have a quiet area. Let's see. Jean, hopefully you saw the invite I just sent you. Let me see if I can't post the link in that window you typed hi, or above the window where you typed hi. Oops. It'll let me. Paste. Do you, Jean, I see that you're watching. Do you see the link I posted? Try clicking on that and try to see if we can get in. Okay, I have to show that Wichita Shockers are going to Sweet 16. I had to wear my shirt today. The Kansas team made it to the Sweet 16. Okay, let's talk about augmented reality. And as people start popping in, I'll try pulling them out. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. Has anybody played around with any creating augmented reality this week? Or made any new projects or have ideas for new projects?
I kind of have, a routine of new material I have to add every week. The way I have things set up, it's just, all I have to do is, for instance, record new audio files, which are new assignments, and post some new documents, just kind of maintenance mode.
How about you, Jessica? Either Jessica. One Jessica was on spring break. The other one's a student teacher, so we'll see.
I'm surviving at TPA right now. Not much over here.
I had an idea, and you can tell me if this is going to work or not. But
Okay.
I created a bracket in spirit of the NCAA tournament of fractions, decimals, and percent. So I was going to have a side competition with the basketball app, the augmented thing where you shoot the baskets for my tournament.
I like that idea. Is that what you asked if I had that app?
Yeah.
Of course I have that app.
I think we should have a challenge.
It's on. My bracket's going to win, sorry. Either
We'll
way.
see.
I like that idea. Should you want to augment the bracket or just have the augmented basketball game going?
Can I do both? I don't know. Can I make my bracket the trigger for the game?
No, because it has its own trigger. It's a separate app.
Okay.
But
I'll have to think about it.
we could include stats from the tournament, and your bracket could be the trigger for that.
Oh, that's an idea.
Doug, are you going to draw something? It says you have added draw.
I was thinking about putting a mustache on you, Katie.
Oh, thanks. I'll go with the sunburn.
While we're waiting, I'm just clicking on some gizmos for these widgets.
Oh, there's Jean. Jean made it. Yay. And Adam's in and out, so we'll see. I wonder if Natalie's going to make it. We have 2 viewers. So if you are just watching and you want to ask questions, they're at the top above the pictures, or the video is some boxes. If you click on that, you may see the Q&A, or it may be on top depending how your viewer's set up. And if you click on the Q&A, you can type in your question, and I will see it. If you want to join us, you can say something on the event wall or click on the link I provided on the event wall, and we'll see if they'll get you in so that you can join us live. And we're talking about augmented reality. I hope that feedback's not me. Okay, I won't mess with my mic. Well, I had a wonderful idea while I was at Disney World. I wanted to try and make a 360-degree environment for those that didn't get to go with us on this trip. And it's harder than it looks. It really is. I got the app and I started taking the pictures for the 360, and people just literally walk in front of you, so then all of a sudden you have a floating head or a disembodied body part in your picture of your 360. So I'm going to have to practice when there's no people around. But that would be a great experience if you go on a field trip and you have people that can't go or wanted to see where you went. You could create a 360 environment and then take a picture of the place and have that as your trigger. And when they scan it, they can see what you experienced. But yeah, thousands of people walking by you when you're trying to do that picture is not very wise.
What app is that?
It was called Sphere, and it was an Android app. It was really fun to play with, but again, I got weird body parts and floating heads, and people literally walk right up to you and get ran over by a stroller, or an old lady in a scooter ran into me as I was trying to take these pictures. So it was an experience. But it would be a great experience for kids when you go on field trips, or if you're doing a tour of your school, to create these 360 environments and have different trigger images so that you could experience those. That's my goal. That was what I was going to play with. But again, I had issues with thousands of people invading my space. So I'm going to try again. I'm going to K-State. My son is doing a college visit Friday, so we're going to do make some environments while we're there at the college visit. Boy, we're such a talkative, huh?
Where is Adam?
He's on. I can see that he's logged in, but I'm getting no sound or no video from him. All I see is HP Touch Smart. I think that's his camera.
Yeah, it looks like 5 minutes ago he said, "Hi, I'm trying to get in."
So I don't know if he's having trouble with his network or what the issue is. Oh, you've added YouTube, Doug. Woohoo! You're having too much fun with those controls. I should take those away from you.
Yeah, I think you should.
I don't know how I gave them to you.
They were just there. I don't know how to get rid of them now either, so that's even better.
Do you see toolbar on the left-hand side where it says like Q&A, and there's a camera, video, a Hangout toolbox?
Yep.
Either Jessica?
I don't know.
Nope. Huh. Just magically appeared for you, Doug.
Well, there was a button there, and I clicked it, as I'm wont to do, but now I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of it. Maybe if I just... Oh, okay, that's simple. I just click on your picture. You don't have a YouTube button on your left side there?
Me?
No.
I have lots of controls since I'm hosting it.
But there's a hideaway dock on the left side of my screen that if you move your mouse over to the left side, this dock appears, and it's got all his widgets. Remote desktop, screen sharing, YouTube, Q&A, capture, showcase, draw, all that stuff.
I'm on an iPad.
Oh, Adam's here.
Hey, sorry. I'm in and out because I'm trying to get my kids dinner, so I apologize.
It's okay. Oh, Jean's back. Maybe she'll stay. Okay, well, as we were talking about augmented reality, I was hoping Natalie would be on so she could do a show and tell, because she's been working on her T-shirt design and how she wants to augment that. I think her class voted on the image they want to use as the trigger, and now they're just kind of putting things together. Jean, can you hear us? Maybe. So I have visual but no audio. So she can see us and she can't hear us. If you go up to the top of your video part, do you see like a microphone and a camera and a widget? And if you hover over it, it says settings. If you click on that, there are settings for sound. And see if that will fix your sound issue. Oh, and she's gone. It's been one of those days.
Yeah, I don't think it's working. I can't get video, so sorry.
It's okay. Is there anything new in your world, Adam, that you would like to share?
So I just want to say that I'll be the keynote speaker at Inside AR in San Francisco. And looking forward to that. I'm speaking alongside Johnny Lee from Google and a couple of other big names. So I'm pretty happy about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Adam and company, have you guys heard that Google and Apple are now really starting to move into AR?
I saw something about Google making some movement for AR on the video game side.
Yeah, Magic Leap or Magic Leak as it's called.
I saw that, but didn't look into it.
Yeah, it's a concept. It's not even a full product yet, from what I understand.
They're certainly talking large funding numbers already, though.
$500 million, yes.
That's a pretty large number.
Yes, it is.
Same with Apple. Apple made an acquisition a couple of weeks ago. They're not really talking much about it, but I think we're going to see this start to really open up as far as people with money and movers and shakers next year, I bet.
You're probably looking at about a six months. You'll actually start seeing augmented reality as a second. It'll be more mainstream in 6 months.
Yep.
Within 6 months.
It'll be interesting.
Definitely is. Definitely will.
Hi, Jean. Can you hear us now?
Yes, I can. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Great.
Was there anything that you are working on, Jean, this week that you would like to share?
Well, I finally got something to work on, Daiquiri 4D. Yay! I was happy about that, and I have a project that I'm going to be working on with my 4th grade standardized class. They're doing a project on simple machines, and we wanted to try to make a trigger and some AR to go along with their project.
That sounds like fun. Hopefully you keep us in the loop and share that project with us.
Will do.
So what was the project that you used the 4D Studio for?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
What was the project that you got to work on the 4D Studio?
It was just a quick thing to try to see if I could get it to work, kind of thing. Because
Okay.
for the longest time, I hadn't been able to get it to work. So it was just something simple for St. Patrick's Day. And I was just setting up a model for my students.
Sounds like fun. Did they like it?
Yes, they liked it a lot. They thought it was really cool.
Boy, we're so talkative tonight. We must all be tired.
I was also lucky enough to get in on the stuff from the STAR program, the STAR app.
Uh-huh.
But I haven't really tried it yet.
You're going to really like it.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be easier to make stuff. You know, Gene, all you have to send us over is that image, and we'll help you augment it.
Okay. But we still need all the pieces, though. You're the ones that just put it together, right?
Right. Right. If you follow if you see the directions, what you're gonna do is just take your trigger image and your video or whatever you want it to link to, and send it to us, and we'll put it into our cloud to augment for you.
Okay, great.
So you
Yes,
don't
I
have
look
to.
forward to trying it this week.
And I did also add, I know some people were asking about 3D, to create 3D images. So on our webpage, you can actually, now we gave 3 free options to create 3D images that are user-friendly. So you can use those resources, create an image, and send it to us, and we'll be able to augment that as well.
Very nice.
I'll be sending you a 3D model of a wind turbine shortly, which is going to be our logo for our Maker Fair.
Awesome.
So when you scan the logo, the 3D turbine will appear.
You may want to talk to them
Whenever I
about
see
animating that.
Yeah, I was going to talk to Joe about it.
Okay.
So Adam, are these 3D images, can they be animated? And is there size limitation on these? And what file formats are preferred?
They can. Our 3D images, we have, they can be animated. We do have animated 3D images, like the dolphin swimming across the screen. So it's all based on...
I'm saying if I were to upload one from your interface.
If you were to upload it, I don't know the specifics of how big the file would have to be.
Okay.
But for you, Doug, I'll make it work.
I've been trying it. I'm liking it so far, but I've been having trouble uploading some things. So.
Uploading images?
Yeah. No. Uploading augmentations.
In what were you utilizing that you had trouble
I was using that in Teacher Connect.
Okay. And you sent over. Well, we fixed the back end for you guys to log in, for members to log in. We were updating it, so if you had trouble uploading, it might have been when they were working on that part. I don't know when you did it.
Try it again then.
Yeah, try it again. If you get an error, email us right away so we can get that fixed.
I'm still having major problems with Daiquiri and our Lightspeed firewall. That's not making me happy at all. It's been many, many, many weeks, and I haven't have any resolution yet. And I really want this tool to work, but it's not hasn't been fun yet. And the problem is that there are people on my side of things that have to work with the filter people, and it's just getting everybody together on the same page at the same time is proven to be very difficult. So.
Hey, Doug, were you able? It worked in your under your firewall, right?
So far, except for the problems I had uploading augmentation.
Right, your file.
Yep.
Just shoot out what the issues were, so we know, and we
Yep.
could we'll get that fixed right away.
Yep. Cool.
Any other projects that people are thinking about working on?
I have a question. When you present, Katie,
Mm-hmm.
do you actually how do you actually, or do you actually demonstrate AR at your presentation? And how do you do that?
I demonstrate, but it's a hands-on presentation. The participants actually get to experience it and use it. I have them download the apps and I have the triggers ready. For though making it, I have examples of things that I've made, and I kind of walk them through the process of making it, and then they get to experience what I've made, so they get an idea and get an idea of what they could also make. And usually my sessions are like 30 minutes to 2 hours long.
Yeah. But it's very difficult to demonstrate AR to a group of people. You're on a stage and you have to demonstrate it to a whole room full of people. Let's say on a large.
Usually I'm not on a stage. I'm in a breakout session, and it's all hands-on. It's like a workshop.
Doug,
Yep, go ahead, Adam.
I've done quite a few presentations on what I've done to groups in front of, a couple of 100 people to 20 people, but in front of a stage. Are you hooking up to, off of our app, you can hook off of Airplane?
Yeah, that's what we've been using, AirPlay. It's certainly not 100% reliable yet. And there used to be something called, before AirPlay, there was something called Reflection, or Reflector.
I use Reflector.
Yeah, and none of them are terribly stable. And my experience has been getting halfway through a demonstration and start having technical problems or buffering problems, and it really kind of kills momentum sometimes. And I was just wondering if,
that's why I have the people do it for themselves, so they can experience it, not just me show them.
Well, I do that too. I mean, I have a session this year was a beginning session and an end session. A lot of these people need to see this happen, and I'm dealing with people who don't always have the skill sets that aren't quite ready to start working on something themselves. So they really need.
Same here.
They need the silver spoon at first, and it's a difficult thing to present because of what it is. The very nature of the experience is difficult. It's not collaborative. I mean, it's really a one-to-one experience that we're talking about most of the time. So.
Well, usually when the people leave, they're excited and they start using it right away. I have a Padlet board where they can post the projects that they're working on so that we can share ideas. And that's helped a lot to keep the conversation going after the sessions and to also get ideas from other people. And it's anonymous, which they like a lot because a lot of people are shy about posting.
Yeah. So far, the best thing that's worked for me is to have, it takes another body. I have somebody film me doing it, and they become, I upload them to YouTube, and I can play my YouTube videos, but it's still no substitute for them actually doing it themselves. But if you're trying to just get over the hurdle of basic explanation of what this is and how it works, that's been working out the best for me so far, rather than a live scan of something that's going to implement AR on a stage in front of a lot of people. That's a big challenge right now.
I would check into. I met a group. They started what's called Squirrel, like in the animal Squirrel.
Yeah, we've heard about that.
I've met them. So they run I guess almost like an airplane as well, and they except that it'll run off of any tablet to any PC, which would then transfer over to a big screen.
Called Squirrel.
Squirrel, and it's pretty cheap. It's not too expensive. I think it's around $25 a license or something like that. So I could definitely get you the information of who to talk to. I could email that to you.
Yep. Adam, are you one-to-one iPad at your school?
No, not at all. There are not too many one-to-one schools out there.
Well, there are in my state. 4 little unpopulated rural Maine. The whole place is just about one-to-one. We have a good relationship with Apple. I think the state does. So there's a lot of one-to-one schools in Maine.
I deal with a lot of schools that are creating, at least what we talk about for AugNet is augmented workstations, so that there's 4 or 5 kids working on 4 or 5 iPads, because that's all they could. They handed out the iPads to 5 classrooms and gave them 5 iPads, so that the kids work in groups and then rotate in and out of that augmented station.
Yep. Well, that's a great thing about teachers being able to develop their own augmented content. Ownership for the iPads doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, no.
They can just scan their material.
I would like to throw a question out there. So we always talk about augmented reality being used in the classroom, but how do you guys use it to send home to students? So that's the whole concept. We always talk about iPads in the school or tablets in the school, and I think we get locked in. I think the bigger potential is creating assignments in augmented reality to send home, bringing home those 3D objects to create a virtual lab in their house.
That's what I do, Adam. I say that they can take their teacher home with them every night. They do.
Right.
And they do it in the form of my instructions. I have this program on my Mac called Audacity. All it does is record audio and make MP3 files. And I'll give my math students audio assignments. They scan the back of their math book. There's a 3D object of their name, and they plug their headphones in, and they can listen to me give their assignment to it 1,000,000 times. I only have to say it once. And so they literally take me home with them every night when they knew that when they have to do their assignments. And this is an advanced math class. These kids are doing a lot of work every night. Very ambitious, driven group, and I can tailor their curriculum as deeply as I need to go with this. And one of the ways I do it is just as you mentioned. I lock myself up into an MP3 file, and I head home with them. They pocket their teacher and take them home with them. And I think that's one of the great powers of this augmented content, that we're able to do that.
One of my university professors has started to use it to partially flip his classroom. So, unfortunately, he did it after I'd taken his class, but I've seen other students in the class. And instead of having a lot of that math content taught in class,
Right.
education math course, they go over the concept of what and how to do it as homework, and he has the videos that he's created of how to do the math, and then in class, then they can focus more on how to teach it. So kind of used it as partial flipping his computer class.
That's interesting. I remember my biology class in college when I was a freshman. A proctor came into an auditorium. There were 420 of us. He set a reel-to-reel tape recorder down on the desk and pressed the buttons and left. And we had a test on the material on Friday. I guess that's unaugmented reality.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Well, I would like to start sending stuff home because kids and parents have smartphones. Even if they don't have internet at home, they have a smartphone, and they have access to that technology 24/7. So that's my plan, is to start sending instruction home via augmented lessons.
I guess this is a relevant question. How many people out there's schools allow smartphones?
I couldn't answer that.
You could?
In my house, we have 3 smartphones, so it's like,
No, are your students allowed to have smartphones in school?
yes, but they can't use them. They can have them, but they can't use them during class unless the teacher allows it.
So a lot of the schools that we are implemented in, their students are using smart devices, their own smart devices, in the classroom. I don't know that number, but I do know that it's kind of mixed, because schools cannot afford technology, but the 21st century learner concept, we have to have technology. So how do you meet that demand? So a lot of teachers are allowing that to come into the classroom so that they can infuse technology into their lessons.
You say mixed, you mean tablets and smartphones?
Tablets and smartphones, yes.
Yeah. I know our high school allows students to have smartphones, but they can't use them during class. They can use them in between classes. And I realize this is all 3 years away. This stuff's all going to be under the bridge. Kids will be using smartphones all the time. You know, we'll figure out how to deal with the kid who's getting his standardized test questions texted to him during the text. You know, we'll cross those bridges already. So,
but I think that also falls onto the teacher themselves, because, you know, I believe in smart devices being used in the classroom and technology to be infused, but it goes to the same days of if you have a teacher who's teaching and that's what they're doing, how many times does a note get passed to another student? You know, we're looking at the modern note passing of who likes who, or if they want to ask them out on a date, but you still, you know, teacher has to beware. I think if the teachers are on top of the students, and there's that whole respect of understanding what they have to do, I think it could be a really positive thing.
I think the teachers need to be trained in how to use. Like where I'm student teaching, it's a bring your own device school, but I can see that none of the teachers know what to do with the bring your own devices or how to use it. So for the most part, they're not being used, and the students aren't being taught how to use them successfully. And they're moving now away. What I see it as they're moving away from that using the devices because, like they're banning devices now in their study hall. So if a student or a teacher were to, have homework that included augmented reality, the students wouldn't be able to use it. I think that really stemmed from teachers not knowing how to use that bring your own technology devices in them.
I'm still absolutely dumbfounded by the fact that now it turns out kids have laptops. They never got any training at all. They just put a device down in front of them, and teachers always thought that kids were much more proficient than, technology natives, they call them. Kids are very poorly trained on the technology that they do have. And unfortunately, a lot of the teachers know even less. And that's an interesting problem. They still don't train anybody how to use these things. This was a nightmare with Apple ID. Oh my God. Unbelievable nightmare managing that stuff.
I think it's not just training them how to use it, but how it relates.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yep, why we're using it.
Right, because we could train a teacher on, here you go, here's a smart board, and I can't even tell you how many times the teachers have been trained on the smart board of, look at all these cool tools, but they're still using it as, like I said before, an expensive overhead projector.
Yep.
Or
an expensive DVD player.
Absolutely. And if it's like anything. We want our students to buy into technology and to what we're teaching them. We have to have the teachers buy into the importance of technology, and if they see that, they'll be more apt to use the technology and make sure that they know what they're doing with it.
One of the big problems was I have a smartboard. I love it. I use it frequently for a lot of different things. Smartboards were about collaboration in your classroom. It was about putting your document up and having 10 students all edit it at the same time, collaborative things. iPads, when they hit the classrooms, iPads are smartboards killer. And we're seeing that change a little bit, but iPads are narrow focus, one-to-one, personal experience. They lost a ton of real estate from their laptops here, and AR is one of the bridges that allows me to keep the iPad somewhat functional in the classroom. But there's a huge polarization between the collaboration you get with working with skateboards and having one-to-one iPads in your classroom where everybody's got their head down in the weeds and they're looking at their screen. Collaboration is a very difficult thing to accomplish with that right now. AR actually helps me bridge some of that because they have suddenly a shared experience.
There are other apps, though, to get around that.
Yeah, they're coming. A year and a half ago, there weren't many at all, and the ones that were there were not working so great. But they're starting to address that. One app that we don't have.
I use Splashtop and I use Nearpod, and they're more collaborative.
Absolutely, I use Nearpod all the time. The one thing that we don't have though is they don't have a tool where a teacher can easily or inexpensively monitor all the iPad activity in a classroom. And I used to have wonderful tools on my MacBook where I could see everybody's screen all at once. I knew exactly what kids were doing from 1 second to the next on their MacBook. We don't have that tool yet for iPads. At least our school doesn't. And I really missed that.
With Nearpod, though, you can see when the kids go on or off the program that you're working on.
Yeah, I know. Nearpod's the content, though. I'm just talking about I should choose an assignment to do some writing prompts or a social studies assignment. I want to be truly doing it, not messing around changing their background pictures or surfing YouTube or something like that. There are a lot of tools.
Well, you could also use guided access on the iPad to lock them into particular programs if necessary.
Yeah, you can block them. Thank you, Adam.
Yeah, that's my son having a meltdown. Sorry.
That's okay. We have those too.
That's okay.
He's 4.5, and he's
Going on 30.
I think that's the problem with all my kids. Absolutely. So if I mute it, my son is like running through the house yelling and screaming. So
we don't have to call 911?
Only if he's attacking me, I'll let you know.
Okay, well, we haven't heard a lot from Miss Jessica and snowboarding there. Are you still on your phone?
I am. It died. I got kicked out, but I'm back in now.
Okay. Well, welcome back. Have you got any ideas other than your basketball, which I really like, and we'll have to talk about it tomorrow, to use augmented reality in either math, since you teach math, or your science, whatever that class is called? Your ESP class?
Yeah. Well, like you talked about last week, the whole interactive notebooks, in augmenting my foldables and adding some video components to those would be great.
You just have to give me the files.
I'm working on it.
Gosh, I wish Natalie was here. I was really excited to see her shirt design.
So she'd have a trigger on the shirt? Was that the thing?
Yeah, she's making a trigger to put on the shirts, and then they voted on it this week, and I went in to see what the design was and what they thought they were going to add to it. So we're going to have to give her a hard time because I told her she had to do some show and tell this week. So I guess next week we might get to see it.
So do you know what the augmentation is?
Say that again, Doug.
When you scan the shirt, supposedly it's on someone, what will happen? What will the augmentation?
I don't know. She didn't tell me the part. She just said that they're working on it and they have their design picked out or voting on it. So I was kind of excited to see what the augmented part was going to be in the design.
Well, the other thing I forgot to mention I've been working on is I'm actually doing a lot of augmentations in the school outside of my classroom. I'm mobilizing the learning. We're using mobile devices, so I've got a lot of things kids can scan at various different parts of the school, let alone the wall and printed materials that are in our classrooms as well. So I'm finding that pretty interesting too. Plus it attracts a lot of, hopefully, positive attention when they see engaged in doing that things. They get curious and they want to know what's going on.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You should make it an interactive scavenger hunt.
Well, they're geocaching. I've had them do that already with Google Earth. So we're doing some things like that. So there's a great little, we have a defibrillator in the hallway, and I'm one of the ones that was trained and certified to use that. But if you scan the defibrillator, you actually see a movie of a heart being stimulated to beat again. Stopped. And it's pretty gruesome. It's a gruesome piece of video, but it's pretty informative. So, and that defibrillator is up by the central office somewhere. It's not in the classroom. So I'm looking for different opportunities to mobilize learning outside of their classrooms as well.
So when you are making these augmented triggers, do you put like a note next to it to tell them which app to use to scan it?
You know what I did is I took a little, I have a picture of an iPad screen, color picture, and I shrunk it down so that it's like, I don't know, half an inch by half an inch, even smaller, and I printed about 300 of them out on a color printer. And I cut them all out, and then I'll just tape them next to an object in the hall or an object on the wall or anything to let them know that there's scannable content there. Like the retail call to action. You'll see a little iPad half inch by a half inch next to a poster. You know you can scan it. You might not know what you're going to see, but everywhere there's some augmented content, I put one of these little markers next to it. So, and of course, most people, if they're not in my classes, they don't know what these things are for. But most of my students all understand what that is.
When I make stuff outside of my classroom, augmented, I put a sign above it, it says scan with, and then I put the app and the icon of the app,
Yep.
so that they know which app to use. And I know it doesn't say what they're going to get, but at least they know which app they can use to scan it and know that it's interactive.
When they built our school in 1990, they hired some, he was a sculptor, and he made these, they're about 300 or 400 sculpted inlaid bricks instead of just a masonry block. He's got this sculpted geodesic brick in its place. Those were great things to actually use as triggers in the building, and they're all over the place. And all of them do different things depending on who I send out there for what they want to see. So just looking for things like that has been a lot of fun, and I think the kids really get a kick out of it. But it's provided me with some other ideas to be creative about enriching the things that they're working on. I think they're important, that they need to delve in a little deeper too. So
I need to come and tour your building. I think that would be fun.
I can send you some pictures.
Holding up our phones and iPads everywhere we go.
Unfortunately, I'm having a lot of pushback from the art teacher hangs all this beautiful art all over the building, and but she won't drink this Kool-Aid for some reason. Not sure why, but those are all such great opportunities for enriched learning, especially for art classes. STEAM is the big buzzword now, no longer STEM, and so I'm trying to get her to do that, but still quite a bit of pushback. So what are you going to do?
Yeah. That's going to be for a very long time.
You think?
Nah.
Are you serious?
Once
Well-
they drink the Kool-Aid, they'll come over.
My part is getting them to understand this is part of their job. I got to be careful what I say because KDN publishes this in a very public way. But there's, I don't want these people to see me saying this, but it's part of the job now, folks. This is what's expected.
is.
You know, look at how far the QR code came, right? When a QR code first came out, everybody was like, what is that little thing on the bottom? And right now, everybody has a QR code, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that was probably around 8 to 10 years ago that QR code started coming around.
Yeah, something like that.
Mm.
And it's been literally unchanged since it first came out, too.
That's right. So if it took 10 years for now QR codes, now AR is the new information it's going to give you the information that you're looking for that you want. It's going to be for everybody to understand what a AR is. It's probably about, hopefully not 8 to 10 years, but it's going to be a while for everybody to get on board.
Someone will realize a way to make an incredible amount of money from this, and then it'll become popular. Unfortunately, and I know that's kind of cynical, but that's the way things always seem to have worked around technology anyway. So some real estate firm will, use AR for what's already been being used for the last 5 years and figure out how to make millions and millions and billions of dollars, and it'll become part of the everyday nomenclature finally. But who knows when that'll happen? But so we'll just be the bleeding edge component to this, and keep doing what we're doing here. Hopefully our students will be the benefactors of it, and 40, 50 years after we're dead, someone might remember one of our names or something like that. Who knows? That's bad.
Well, I always say we are preparing our kids for the future for jobs that they have not yet been invented. So we kind of have to be on the cutting edge, and we have to teach them to be flexible and to experience things and think outside the box. So that's where I'm going with it, at least.
Yep. That question does not appear on a standardized test, by the way.
I know. The stupid tests. But we have to do what we have to do.
I was thinking, KDN, this is just a suggestion, but one of my least favorite things are awkward silences, so perhaps we might, I don't know, communicate in between these Hangouts with perhaps discussion topics for our Hangout meetings. I don't know.
That's a very good idea. I'm really, really tired today after being on a bus forever. Or I would have been on the ball tonight. So I do apologize.
No, this will evolve, I'm sure. So.
It's getting there. I got people in this time, and we didn't have too many hiccups.
How's the overseas contingent thing going?
We are still working out some scheduled times that we can both be on at the same time.
Yep.
When I get that time and date, I'll let everybody know.
Yep.
Because we have people in Australia that want to hang out with us. We have people in the UK that want to hang out with us. So the word's out. It's hard for people to get on at this time. They really like the recordings. They do watch them, and I get lots of feedback from them. So we're growing slowly.
I'm anxious to talk to them not only about AR, but I'm sure that their professional lives are very different than ours. It'd be interesting to have a discussion with them about all that stuff as it relates to what we're doing.
I agree. I went to Russia for 2 weeks when I was going through my education part of K-State, and it was totally different. How we teach and how they teach, and it was an eye-opener. So, and public education for them is totally, I mean, just, we wouldn't even think of how they teach. They have a totally different testing system and how you go about for your careers, and it was amazing to meet the kids and to meet some of the teachers. So it was an experience I will always remember. Okay, well, I think this is going to wrap it up for tonight. I promise not to be tired next week, and if you have topics that you would like to discuss, feel free to send them to me, and maybe we'll get a little itinerary going for next week.
You know, one thing I was thinking about is that's why I kind of brought up the challenges of doing large group presentations, but it would certainly be nice to see other people's work. And
yeah, we need to do a show and tell, definitely.
Well, yeah, I think probably the easiest way to do that would be if people were able to record their work in video and, say, put it up on YouTube or something like that. I think there's an interface right here in Hangouts where we can all look at a YouTube video together, I think, or something like that. So
yeah, there is. I've disabled it, but yeah, there is.
It would be interesting to see what everybody's working on. I think that would be pretty valuable for all of us.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Is Adam still alive?
A bit there.
He's quiet over there, so he may be muted.
Who, me?
I know you didn't fall asleep.
No, my headphones are going in and out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I freeze every once in a while.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep up with. There's a lot of lag in the room. Like when for me, my camera still is not working, so.
Yeah.
Jean, are you using an iPad for the Hangout?
Yes, I am actually.
Okay.
I tried to use my laptop, but it didn't work out too well. I tried to get in several times, and it just didn't work. So I went back to the iPad. Hope that's okay.
No, that's fine. I'm just kind of seeing if the network issue is me. I'm on a pretty strong network, so hopefully you're not getting too much lag for me.
I'm not seeing anything on the big board, really. I'm just seeing a green screen a lot of the time, and I just see all the boxes on the bottom. Is that the way it works?
Well, it's supposed to go in and out, and it has been when somebody starts talking, their face or whatever appears, but it hasn't moved, and I haven't done anything, so I'm not for sure.
Like the bottom boxes are all moving, but there's nothing on the main screen, and last time it was kind of like the reverse.
Oh, that's funny.
What did you do, Katie?
I don't know what I did. It says
Well,
capture smile.
That's what Katie
Yeah.
did. Katie Ann did that.
I don't know what I did.
So before we hang up, I just want one thing. Adam, you're in California, right?
No, I'm in New York.
In what part of New York?
Well, I'm actually in New Jersey. That's where I live, but New York
Oh, okay.
City.
I lived in New York City for 25 years.
Aren't you glad you got out?
Yeah, try getting a bagel in Maine.
Well, then I'll have one for you, okay?
Gene, are you in Kansas also? Katie Ann?
No, actually, I teach in New York City, and I live on Long Island.
Oh, okay. And Jessica, snowboarder, she's with you, right, Katie Ann?
Yes, she's one of my colleagues.
And the other Jessica is a gopher, right?
What?
Minnesota, right?
No, Wisconsin, but I'm from
Wisconsin,
Ohio.
sorry, Badger, sorry. Badger, gopher, you know. Okay.
Okay, does anybody else see me wearing a yellow shirt?
Yeah, you look
Yes, the
tired.
Shockers won today.
Yes, that's why I'm wearing my shirt.
Yeah. Just in the little box, though, not in the big screen.
Oh, that is weird.
So, Gene, what PS do you teach at?
I teach at P811M. It's a special needs school in District 75.
Where's that district, in Long Island?
District 75 is, it takes in all the boroughs, and it's all the special needs students.
Ooh, where's it located?
It's all in New York City.
Oh, so
It's Manhattan, Staten Island,
Okay.
the Bronx, Queens.
I had a meeting with my superintendent this week. Careful, Doug. And I'm on a dropout committee, and I reminded him that the New York City school budget was $23 billion. And there's 170,000 teachers in the public school system in New York City. And the chancellor makes $4 million a year. Lives in a nice brownstone in Brooklyn Heights. So, interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
That's
I'm gonna stop this recording, and hopefully I fix it for next week. I don't know why it's not popping everybody up on the big part. That's just weird.
It is for me.
Oh, okay. Oh, somebody's peeking through.
Am I the only one that sees it just in the little boxes in the green screen?
It
No.
might
Yes.
be.
I'm still trying to put a mustache on Katie Ann.
Thanks, Doug.
Fortunately for you, my pencil has disappeared.
Well,
Did you turn the pencil off?
I was trying to turn everything off.
Good night,
Well,
Katie Ann.
You failed, Katie Ann.
Dang it.
All right. Good night.
Okay. I'm going to say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.